Alright, thanks for listening and thanks for watching.
I'm your huckleberry.
We came away with the win on the co-side. Let's talk about it. Alright. Just got my stuff out of the truck. The baits that were working for me. I tried A-rigs. I threw chompers, dragging it. Fish were pretty shallow. I think the deepest we were setting when we caught a keeper was probably 15 foot, but I'm throwing into the bank out. Getting bitten at 5 to 8 foot range. This is straight out of the boat. This Alabama rig is what I ended up with later in the day. It is a regular Yum Flash Mob Junior. The Bojangle Jangle Shads were clutch to get more bites. I don't know if it was because it's smooth, it looks more natural. It got bit. So that saved me at the end of the day. Now, I started out with 3.8s because now the BFLs on the co-angler side is just 3 fish. So I fished big to start out. Never got bit with 3.8s. So I had to downsize. This is a 3.3, and then Kitech has a 2.8. So I did catch one of the bigger fish on 2.8. I had to use, I decided to use this Black's Custom Widowmaker. It is different in the water than, per se, the Flash Mob Junior. So I think that helped me have a more compact, more finesse type of A-rig. Maybe it didn't make any difference, but I know that is what I was using when I caught my bigger fish, and I think it made a difference. He also makes the BFL rig. So I'm going to shoot him a message. I know this is a co-angler side, but this is another BFL win by Black's Custom Lures, and this is his BFL rig right here. So I had both of them on. I lost this. I'm going to make another order, and I lost my other A-rig. I only lost 2 A-rigs. Usually out of the back of the boat, I lose more because I can't see the brush. But I was pretty familiar with the areas that we were in, so I tried to keep it up and out of the brush. Thankfully, the fish were coming up and eating it. If it's a situation where the fish are on the bottom more, and they want it more towards the bottom, you're really going to, I wanted to say that you're going to be screwed, but you're not screwed. You're going to get hung up a lot more if you're fishing the brush or dragging it across the bottom. So, the Widowmaker got paid. BFL rig got paid. That was my best baits that I threw, but like I said, I did try some others. I threw my Mega Bass Plus One, French Pearl. Never caught a fish on it. Probably didn't throw it very much. I threw a Ned whenever we got bit in some areas. And I wanted to just finish my limit out. I was throwing Neds, never caught a keeper on it. And then I dragged a Chompers. It's usually pretty good this time of year also. And you can see my special little mushroom head. We don't need to talk about that. Nah, it's nothing special, but kind of hard to find now. It's not a Chompers head, it's a mushroom head with a twisted wire weed guard with a really good O'Shaughnessy hook in it. Never caught one on it. So I guess the fish wanted to be shad oriented. I guess they wanted to be up. The water tip was probably started out at 39. We ended the day at 41. It was overall tough, I believe, but it was a different type of tournament for a BFL because I don't think everyone was in town. You got the Open going on in Rayburn. You had another big tournament coming out of Y20. So there was still lots of hammers in the tournament. I just don't think we had as many boats as we probably normally would have for our first BFL of the Ozark division. So, with the weather being cold and tough, that works out for me. So I'm a grinder. I'm going to fish my butt off all day, and I just happen to get a couple bigger bites. That's just luck of the draw. Great boater, Rob Oring. Great boater. He helped me out once I had 2 decent fish. He was giving me opportunities to throw where I needed to throw to finish my limit. Great boater. That's half the battle on being a co-angler in the BFLs. So I appreciate what he did. I owe him one. So Toyota's coming up. I would definitely have an array of A-rigs, and I would have different sizes. Now, they might get on something like a Shad Rap. You know, I've got my Shad Raps ready to go. These are my Japanese ones I might start playing with. Stuff like this is gonna play. Maybe I need to get some bigger ones. I'm not real good on my Shad Rap game. I know when they get down to Kentucky Lake, the boys down there know the Shad Rap game a lot better than I do. Maybe it's gonna be more of a jerkbait thing. I know I've got a lot of replenishing to do. Thank you, Chad Deaver. I don't even think I throw any other heads. Well, I do. I've got some those Midwest Experience. See those? I've got those heads. Those work great whenever you know you're going to be in brush. See the weed guard on them? But you got to make sure that they're not fish guarding also. Those are pretty good. The fish smash them down pretty good. I don't think I've had any issue missing fish because of that wire weed guard. But day in and day out, Deaver heads. They've got, I call it J-lock, but they've got a wire that keeps your trailer on. Just excellent minnow head. What else do we need to start playing with? Jerk baits. I had them ready to go. My deeps. See that wiggle wart red? In case we went up the glaze or something. Or that water's dirtier. Maybe we go up the river. Had my flats. Of course, I've got that bad boy. You might call it school bus, peanut, whatever you want to call it. That wiggle wart's at least 50 years old. The Little Johns, the flat ones. It's going to start playing. Even the red ones. They eat it here. They eat that here. Don't let them. They'll have 2 weeks occasion in them, I promise you. They're going to want red. Natural greens, great color in a DT6. And then we've got our jerk baits. So French pearls, Taylor Rock shads, clear blues, all that kind of stuff. And if they stay as shallow as they've been, my pearl rogues, you can see the chartreuse on it. Little purple. Man, it looks good. That's going to keep playing. Can't get that color anymore in a rogue. That one right there. See the chartreuse gills. You can get a chrome blackback, but I cannot find that. You know where I can get some of those colors? I don't know if that's olive shad. Every time I find it, it's not foiled, so I think olive shad is not foiled like this one, but there's something about that one I wouldn't take a lot of money for that. That thing catches them. All right, so that's going to play for Toyotas. For any other fun fishing, etc., that's going to play. Again, thank you, Bo, hooking me up at the boat show that we had. There's the boat. That's the Jangle Shed. I guess he's probably got these in a Jangle Shed package. I think this is a Bowtech, and that is a Jangle Shed. So, Jangle Shed for the win. Probably gonna need some more of these for your Toyota for sure. I will be in touch. There's another color there. Good looking stuff. So that's that. Got any questions? Hit me up. If you need some solarbats, go to their website right now. 30% off spring sale. And they'll hook you up. Jared S code gets you free shipping and handling. thMarine's got so much sales going on right now. You can buy hats for $8, $6. You can get AFCO Reapers for a fraction of the cost of a new one with new logos and etc. on it. If you just want one with a bass on it, I don't know the prices, but they're significantly less right now than they are normally. What else is going on? Co-Angler app. So we did a trip last week from the Co-Angler app. You just get on there, make a profile. You request trips. You provide trips. You can just kind of follow along with trips that it's happened. We did one 2 Fridays ago, and it was for crappie. It wasn't the best trip report because we didn't catch very many, but at least you could see that day. Maybe compare what you did out on the water, or if you didn't get to go fishing, kind of see that, hey, you didn't miss out that Friday, but you could see upcoming trips. You can see other people in the area. It's not only for Lake of the Ozarks, it is, I guess, worldwide, but there's a big time presence on the Co-Angler app in the Ozark area. So your rivers, your lakes, your maybe if you have a conservation pond or a lake that you like Little Dixie in Columbia, or if you want to go to the Gasconade, or if you want to go to Table Rock, it seems like there's a lot of people in the Ozark community doing that. I'm going to be, now that I've fished this BFL as a I'm looking at Table Rock in April, and I want to look at the Co-Angler app to see if somebody is either going to be on Table Rock, because if my boat doesn't get out of the shop, which hopefully by then it is, but if I'm down there as a and don't want to take my boat down there, then maybe I can get on there and go fishing on Taneycomo, or maybe even pre-fish a little bit on Table Rock. So there's all kinds of different ways that you can use a Co-Angler app. So check it out. And then MML Lures, they're still tying jigs like crazy. So any of your crappie jigs, your river jigs, he's started to do bass jigs on MML Lures, so check them out too. Thanks for listening, and I want to make sure I don't forget anything. I think we're good. If you have any questions, hit me up. Might do a podcast, might not, but that's it. That's it. That's a horrible ending. That's that. It's a wrap, dude.